Alex, lovely to meet you, and we look forward to welcome you very much when you come to Luxembourg for the Global Ventures Summit. Tell us a little bit about yourself and your role as a venture partner with Accel Partners.
Well, it's my privilege to be a part of this great conference and gathering that you've invited me to, and I'm very excited about attending Luxembourg for the first time. Even though I know Europe quite well, I'm excited to get to know Luxembourg better. As venture partner for Accel, my role is twofold. One is to help source opportunities for the Accel family of investments, primarily on the East Coast of the United States. And then secondly, I've leveraged my vast history or a range of experience in terms of operating software companies and best practices in that regard to help these great companies that join the Accel family scale to the potential that they represent. So I spent the majority of my time helping our CEOs and executive teams find opportunities for expanded growth and scale.
Well, just thinking about what you've said, you've quoted as saying the capital moves where the opportunity is. So what do you hope to see as opportunities in Europe? You've probably, as you said, have been to Europe many times. Luxembourg, your first time. It's a central hub. What are you hoping to find here?
Well, Accel is heavily focused on the entrepreneur over the location. Or the brand. We have investments all over the world, from Australia, where I was the CFO at Atlassian, to Flipkart in India, to Supercell in Europe. So UiPath is another one where I've been recently involved. So we really have a passion for pursuing the entrepreneur, and wherever that opportunity may be. And so what excites me is part of Accel's thesis that there's a great deal of opportunity in Europe with this next wave of evolution of SaaS companies. And so we've been more assertive than perhaps in the past in pursuing those entrepreneurs that happen to reside in the EU.
Do you think that Europe lags behind the US or China in some of the tech industries?
Well, I don't think that's a fair characterization. I think that some of the things that Europe has done around digital rights and privacy is actually perhaps more progressive than other areas. There have been some systemic inhibitors to entrepreneurship and to risk taking that I think Europe is starting to see differently now, and we welcome that opportunity for increased entrepreneurship in the European region.
What do you think the inhibitors were that are slowly being lifted?
Well, there are a combination of different factors. There's certainly cultural ramifications that a long history of perhaps less risk appetite than in the European or than in the United States, for example, where the pioneer, so to speak, almost defined part of the U.S. experience. But I think that the academic studies and the reality of capitalism and entrepreneurship has demonstrated how important entrepreneurship is to an environment's socioeconomic well-being, and also to the improvement of the socioeconomic status of regions like Luxembourg. And so I think that there's more and more evidence of the importance of entrepreneurship to a region's socioeconomic quality of life.
Now, when somebody might want to come and meet you when you're here in Luxembourg, what type of people do you want to meet you, and what should they be saying to somebody like you? What kind of introduction should they approach you with, and what kind of business plan should they approach you with? What are you looking for?
I think at Accel we're pretty open in terms of being open-minded about the opportunities that are presented to us, and I think that taking that humble, open approach and being listening oriented is important to us culturally. But the core. It's very difficult, I find, with entrepreneurs to really boil down the problem that they're solving and why they're the best in the world at solving it. And a lot of times it's very difficult to be succinct on those points. But I think I would work at getting that down into 30 seconds and then evidence to support the thesis. And so the more established the idea or the opportunity is, the more seriously we can take it. And we love to look at things across the spectrum, but if they're at a point of 10 million ARR in euros or some kind of critical mass in terms of user adoption, I think that certainly gets our attention, that it's more than just an idea, that there's been market adoption to support the thesis.
Now, thinking about yourself and your journey, you have a stellar CV, a stellar career. And as a venture capitalist, how do you, in your role, figure out what the right choices, the right decisions are? What do you process in your own mind to make the best choices?
There are three things that are important to me as either an operator or investor. The first is that you have customer passion, that this is a company where customers have a real excitement about the solution that's being solved. When I see those as data points, I don't care where they are and I don't care how big they are. I think that customer enthusiasm or that customer embrace is critical, especially in this environment of transparent information and bad news travels rapidly and good news travels quickly now. So I think that customer embrace is a very important indicator. I think the second point is around product. Every company I've been with has started with a very strong product team. And I think product excellence starts with great engineering, and there's a trash heap of great products in the Bay Area that never were able to sell. So I think it's necessary but not sufficient. But I always start with product excellence. I think that's really important. And then the third one is a management team, and particularly a CEO, that's listening oriented, that listens carefully to the customer, not just what they want, what they say they want, but what they actually need. And that bias towards thoughtfulness and empathy and listening orientation is usually an ingredient for success.
Alex, there's so many more questions I'd like to ask you. Perhaps you'll have an opportunity when you do come to Luxembourg and you have a little bit of spare time amidst those 30-second pitches from all of the entrepreneurs and startups who will want a bit of your time here. Thank you for your time, and we'll see you in a few weeks.
It will be my privilege, and I'm very excited to attend.
Thank you, Alex.
Thank you.